Hello and welcome to Coffee Milk. I'm Mark Laporte.
And I'm Brian Froelich.
Today, we don't have Mitch. He had his wisdom teeth out 2 days ago, and he told me the day before, he's so positive of it. He's like, oh yeah, I've got my wisdom teeth out tomorrow. I'll be fine for Friday. I'm like, no, dude, you won't be fine for like another 5-7 days at least. And even then, you're still going to be in a little bit of pain.
Yeah.
But he assured me, and then yesterday, he called me up. He's like, yeah, it hurts to talk. I don't think I could do the podcast tomorrow. I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. I got you covered. So today I got my buddy Brian, who runs the Hobby by Brian, which is it's a small Etsy shop right now, but he 3D prints RC bodies, a jar of coat hangers, and just pretty much anything you can think of, because he wanted to do RC bodies, but only had a couple. And then once he had it out and he started promoting himself on social media, a lot of people have been DMing him and asking for different body styles and everything. And then his store like kind of seriously grew. So welcome, Brian.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for having me on, Mark. I know it would have been nicer to have Mitch here too, but I wasn't feeling too hot when I had just one wisdom tooth pulled. So I mean,
He had 4.
I can't imagine having all of them. Oh, that must suck.
He's like, soup sucks, everything sucks. I'm like, yeah, don't try and even open your mouth for anything wider than, I don't know, a small carrot.
Yeah.
Don't even eat the carrot. Don't eat anything hard. I told him to pack the gauze too.
Yeah, that wasn't pleasant at all. So
God bless him. So tell me about the Hobby by Brian. I'm sure I give the small overview, but what do you got?
So it kind of just started out as I bought my first 3D printer, and I was just kind of screwing around with it, trying to make replacement parts for one of my discontinued trucks. They only made it for like three or 4 years, I believe, maybe just a couple of years longer, but it was available from like 84 to 87 in magazines only. So it was just a kit you could buy in a magazine, and then so parts for that specific model are very hard to find now. So I was trying to, just make some replacements for that. And then I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe people would actually buy this shit. So, and sure enough, once I started, it kind of just snowballed. Like you said, there was some parts and then some bodies, and then more people asking for different bodies for different cars and trucks and all different sizes. And here we are today.
See, that's kind of the nice thing too. It's you weren't so limited in your store where it was just like, okay, I can only do this one body. It's more like you didn't know what people might want, and then people just pretty much told you exactly what they wanted, and it's like, oh, okay, well, that's just the easiest way to get customers. I mean, it's insane. And I know you got the coolest body ever that you're printing, or you printed a couple of days ago. We'll talk about that one later, because that's going to get into our whole little 80s movie theme.
Damn
But,
right.
So yeah, I didn't know what we were going to kind of talk about on this podcast, because with Mitch and I, it's kind of like side hustles and what we're doing with our different things and different people we find fascinating. And I always said I wanted you on.
Well, I am very fascinating. So, I mean,
I mean, that's what Ray tells me all the time. Is like, that Brian, fascinating guy.
yeah, I'm sure.
So, if you didn't know, I actually work with Brian at Pro Shaper, and we just kind of bust each other's balls.
Oh yeah, we worked together for how long now? You keep track of that shit.
Okay, I've been there 7 years, 5 months, 19 days. So you've been there 6 years, 11 months, and like 10 days. Yeah.
How you can keep track of that shit is ridiculous.
Well, it's easy because today's May 19th. I started January 1st, and I started 7 years ago, so I just add 5/19. So that's why I love it when people he asks me all the time, and it's like, I don't know what you do. It's pretty freaking easy, right? Just look at the date. That's it, and add 7. I'm sorry, I'm still dealing with this damn sinus infection stuff. I thought the pollen count was supposed to be low, but it's still pretty high apparently, because it's still it's not pretty.
My weather app is saying it's worse. It's like high over here.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's got my sinuses and shit going nuts too.
Yeah, and Ray swears it's a cold, and I'm just like, it's not a cold, it's allergies. Like, Brian gave it to all of us. I'm like, Brian is fine. We've been dealing with this thing for 9 days.
I've been dealing with this thing for 15, 16 years plus, so.
They say there's a time where you have allergies, and then maybe like 7 years, your body kind of changes because every cell is different. Like your cells they like regenerate or do something different every 7 years. And then some people who've never had allergies will get it. And then people who have allergies will kind of lose them for a while. So I'm hoping I'm in there pretty soon.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So tell me about the RC bodies, and let's really do kind of like a good overview of all the stuff. I mean, so your shop's a lot of just car stuff.
No, it's mostly our RC parts and bodies and stuff and accessories. But I mean, as you know, you've seen me bring some into the shop, but I also like putting together Gundam model kits. So I mean, I've also, the hangers, the wall hangers that I make, and so actually those sell pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say it's your best seller. It's kind of like the shrinking disc at Pro Shaper.
One of them, yeah. But I mean, they're pretty easy. I mean, they print pretty quickly, and they're seemingly very durable. I mean, I've had the same ones up on my wall, or I've got them mounted to the sides of my shelf since I made them, and I haven't noticed any issues, and they're still holding really well. So, I mean, the people who have bought them have been coming back and buying more. So,
right. Yeah, if you haven't checked out the shop, it's on Etsy. It's The Hobby by Brian. No spaces. Just want to throw that plug out there. And so, with the shop, what else are you doing? Like, how are you promoting? You've never done ads on Etsy, right?
No, it's just whatever Etsy pushes, because they charge for all the extra shit that they offer.
Yeah, can you go over some of the fees? Well, I wasn't saying like exact numbers. I mean, we can kind of insert that after, but I'm thinking like, okay, they charge you to list something, they charge when you sell something.
And just taxes.
Do they have like a couple of charges?
No, they charge the listing fee is 20 cents per listing, and that renews every 6 months. So,
oh wow,
yeah. So every 6 months it's 20 cents to keep a listing up, which is not bad.
I thought it was actually okay. I thought it'd be like 20 cents a month or something. I was thinking, wow, that's
no. It's every 6 months. Whenever it re-ups, it's 20 cents per.
Oh. And okay, so. Super question, but what if you put up your coat hangers and you put like the quantity of 10, and then within 3 months all 10 were sold? Do you have to pay the 20 cents for another listing, or can you just like update the quantity?
No, I edit the listing.
Oh, okay, and just update the quantity. Okay.
Yeah, I go in and I edit the listing when I see it start getting low. That's why all my stuff is made to order. I don't really have like a back stock because I don't have a whole lot of space to have a back stock of stuff.
Right.
So everything's kind of just made to order, and that's why like the processing time is so long compared to some of these other shops, because if I had the space, of course I would love to have just a wall of shelves that would just house all product ready to go out the door.
What's the lead time on something like a coat hanger, a key hanger versus a body?
Oh, well, like the key hangers, the car nose key hangers, those take, I've got them, I think I got it saying that it takes about a week, somewhere between like 5 to like 8 or 9 days. It takes a little bit of time to print one, and now I want to give myself a little bit extra time just in case there is a failure with the machine. I can restart it so that I can have the piece done in a reasonable amount of time. Now I kind of give myself a few extra days. I basically go time to print doubled plus a day or two just in case. So I mean, then something like a body, depending on the size, most of the 10 scale bodies for like the drift cars and the touring car chassis, those take anywhere between 5 and 6 days to print anyway. So I kind of double that, and add a few extra days because those take a little bit more time to clean up. Even though I sell them in pieces, they take a couple extra days or at least a day extra to clean up. So that way, when they buy it, you get it, you can just glue it together however you plan on adhering it together.
What was the best? I remember you had the pen. Do you use the pen to glue it together, or do you glue it together?
Well, when I'm making them for myself, And yeah, some people who have contacted me locally and they've asked, if they pay a little extra, if I can assemble it for them, I will use, cheapo dollar store super glue to just hold the pieces together initially. And then I'll take my 3D pen and I will weld on the inside, weld the pieces together with the pen. So that way it's super strong. There's less likely, like a chance
Less
that you
likely
hit
to
a bump
fail.
and it'll pop off or, the pieces will disassemble.
So you're just like tack welding it with the glue, and then you're welding it with the
Exactly.
pen. I love it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, it also, just using the super glue will help me. It helps me align it so that way I can make sure that, it looks good. The two pieces line up correctly. And then once those are held together, I can really, set them together.
So, I mean, you're doing all this 3D printing, and you have 3 printers now?
I do have 3 now. Yeah.
And those are all kind of going 24/7, or?
Right now they've actually been off for a couple of days.
Oh, good. But does anything?
Yeah, it's been a little slow.
Oh, I didn't mean good. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's actually it's kind of good because I can focus on my own little personal projects. But I mean, like, it gives me time to prototype out new products, new parts, new bodies. Gives me time to sit here on my laptop and work on the designs, or test print a couple of the smaller accessories, or if I got something new I want to get going, I at least have the machines ready and available to do all the testing,
right,
and prototype everything out before I release it to the public.
Oh God. Nah, Mitch is so jealous. Like, Mitch would have loved to talk to you about 3D printing. This guy would have had a billion questions. Me, I'm just like, we got 4 at the shop, and Ray got into 3D printing because of you, and then he just loves you for it. But I'm sure he would have a whole boatload of questions, so I'm going to be I know there's different types, and like there's PLA, don't know what that means, and then there's the other stuff, and then there's, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a decent bit involved in it, but the different materials and the different types. So I mean,
okay, how about this? People want to start a 3D printing thing. They want to print their own weird shit. What printer what would be your top 3? Like, not crazy budget, not like Ray money. This is maybe $200-$300. Is that even possible?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean,
it just means it's going to be a longer time to print things.
Yes and no. I mean, it depends on the size of the stuff you want to make. I mean, you've seen the machine that one of the machines that Ray bought. That thing is huge.
Yeah, it goes from top down instead of bottom up.
Yeah, that thing could print, all 3 of my printers on it. So, I mean, that thing's massive, but it definitely isn't budget friendly if you want to just try it out.
Yeah, no.
If you want to try it out, there are quite a few machines that are under the $250 mark, and if you want to just try it, that's a good way to get your feet wet and to dive in for some experience. But
is there one you'd recommend?
I'm kind of partial to the machine I bought first, which is the VoxLab Aquila.
Right.
Just because I bought that first, so I mean, like I said, I'm kind of partial to it. It was when I bought it, it was on sale. I got it for like $170, but without the sale, it's like $235, something like that.
Oh, and Memorial Day is coming up, so guaranteed there's going to be a sale on them right now.
Oh yeah, there's probably sales somewhere.
I might actually look into that. I might get one, but I need you to come set it up and do everything for me because I'm just clueless.
Well, that's why I told Ray to buy one if he was gonna, because he bought that other one without consulting anybody first. He was like, I just bought this one. It works pretty good. I mean, it's good for small stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but again, for the same price, you could have gotten something better, or maybe like $10 more. You could have gotten something much better. And I don't understand why this man has all these people around him, but he just won't listen to their advice. I told him about a computer, his desktop computer. Every time I go in there, he's got Firefox loaded. He's got 57 tabs. He's got Photoshop open and something else. Always complains about why the computer's slow. And I'm like, well, A, it's Firefox. That takes up so many resources. But B, I had given him a computer to buy. I'm like, Ray, this thing's like $250. It's a bare bones kit, but it's got everything that you will need, and it's souped up. It's good for a couple of years. No, he buys something that's $20 less, and it's just like Intel Core i3, old piece of shit with a horrible hard drive and no RAM. It's just like, why? Why would you do that? I don't know. But that's a whole other story. Who does this shit, Brian?
Because he's Ray. Yeah.
Who does this shit?
How does this shit happen?
It was funny. I actually saw that on a video. I don't know what it was. I think it was like that that guy who goes to restaurants and like rehabs them, or the bar guy who goes to bars and he like rehabs them with the people. It's just like kitchen nightmares, but
Bar rescue.
He I saw him. I saw something and he just picked something up and he was like, "Who does this?" I was like, "Oh, there's Ray." It was beautiful. See, what sucks is nobody's going to get these inside things. Like, you'd have to just meet our boss to understand him. He is 72 and just wild. He just loves to complain. And yesterday he's like, I think he said something along the lines of, "Man, I love beating up Dane." Like, I thought you did. That guy, he is just sick, and he used to do that shit to me all the time. And now Dane, last 3 months, he's taking all the heat off me. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, where I am. It's like, Mark just yells it across the shop, bust my balls.
Oh, he's also the new guy, so I mean, it's his time to shine.
Yeah, but we've had several other new guys, but Ray would still always come to me. It's like, stop. You want me to do everything, and I can't possibly. But that's beside the point.
Well, you're also Mac.
Yeah, I know.
It's easier to yell at you across the shop.
All right. Now, the coolest thing was I had seen you put it up on TikTok, and I've noticed you've been doing more TikToks or Instagram and YouTube for YouTube Shorts. So that's the way I assume you're just promoting everything. That
I've been
Facebook,
trying to do a little bit of everything. I mean, most of the stuff, when I get, something tangible that I can take a picture of and put on Facebook, I do. The shorts on YouTube, trying to figure that out still, because I'll put up a short on YouTube and I'll put up the same short on Instagram and TikTok.
One does better than the other.
Oh, yeah, one will do better than the other. Like, the same video that's on TikTok won't do anywhere near as good as the video that's on Instagram, even though it's the same exact thing. And then, it'll have in-between views on YouTube. It's just crazy how weird they push that shit.
I don't know what it is, but the same thing happens to us with our shorts. We did 2 channels. We have Coffee Milk Pod, and then we have Coffee Milk Memes. And for the pod, we did a lot of shorts on different AI tools to build different businesses or side hustles. And on Facebook, phenomenal growth. It was insane. And then those same videos on TikTok and Instagram, shit. It'd give me like a couple hundred views. And then on YouTube Shorts, it actually did fairly well on YouTube, but Facebook was the dominant winner in Coffee Milk Pod. Then for the memes, it wasn't so well on Facebook. It was well received on YouTube and not TikTok. TikTok kept on like banning them, and it pissed me off. And
seriously,
it was weird. Every time I'd upload something, it was just like, this goes against our community content guidelines, and I'd always appeal it, and then they'd say, okay, you're right, and then they'd list it, but I would always feel they'd like shadow ban it. They wouldn't give it the full throttles. They would just show it to a couple hundred people. It kind of pissed me off, but it's weird what content does better where. Like, so for you, it was TikTok or Instagram?
I had made mention to you on Instagram when one of the posts that was like 2 weeks old, it just started gaining random amount of traction. It went from like 2 views or like 4 likes and like 70 views to all of a sudden it's like 600 views, 400 likes by all these random accounts. It's like, oh, okay, so where is all this coming from? But yet then the post that's the next day, nada.
It's weird when they push certain things, because sometimes I'll go to somebody's page because I like the video and it was like, okay, what else they got? And, on, I don't know if it's TikTok or Instagram, but it'll be like just watched, and you have to scroll until you get to the video you just watched. I'm scrolling for like a good 5 seconds.
Yeah, TikTok does that all the time. And then you can see how many views the video is on it, and they'll have like the one you just watched that they're pushing, and then they'll have like 5 or 6 after it that have next to nothing.
Yep. I don't get it. Are they just going to push it in 6 months? Or it's definitely a hell of a learning curve to promote something on social media. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm figuring that out. Hey, that's why I'm trying to push it on everything I can. So.
Oh yeah, Because there's been different places that you've gotten responses for. Oh, can you do this or can you do that? Or has it just been one place?
Yeah, a lot of them on TikTok and Facebook. Those are the main ones are from TikTok and Facebook.
No kidding. That's
And
awesome.
I'll have some people that reach out. They've seen it on Instagram or seen it on YouTube, and instead of commenting or leaving a comment on Instagram or comment on one of the YouTube videos, they'll just message me right through TikTok or Facebook. So it's like, all right, well, I mean, hey,
Oh, as long as you get in contact with me, I don't care how.
at least they can get a hold of me, right?
So that's why I always put all the different socials we have on everything. Website, social media, YouTube videos, just everything, because I want to make sure somebody contacts us for anything.
Yeah, if they want to contact you, they can.
Okay, so you just 3D printed the coolest car I've always loved ever since I was a little kid, going back to my favorite 80s movie, The Wraith. Now, what kind of car is this, and where can we get one?
So the car that they used as the hero car for the movie The Wraith was a Dodge M4S Turbo Interceptor.
Did they sell any of those?
Chrysler, Dodge had an outside company make this car, and they used it as a prototype, and it was made for the movie, and then they used a bunch of the other prototypes as pace cars for the Indy 500.
Are they in existence now, or is it?
I believe there's still a couple of the actual cars that were used for the movie, and a couple of the Indy 500 pace cars still around. But it's a car that nobody knows about, but yet everybody knows about, because if they've seen the movie, they know the car, because you can't. It's completely recognizable. It's like it's there. You know it. You see it. You love it.
You would almost actually think it was from Knight Rider, like a Knight Rider TV show in the 80s. And then there was the movie Knight Rider 2000, where he upgraded the kit car. And I don't know what that is.
Yeah, okay. So instead of using the 3rd gen Trans Am, they just used the 4th gen Trans Am.
Oh, really? Because it looked like a Ford Probe.
No, it was a 4th gen Trans Am, but they had this whack job body kit on that to make it look retarded. Yeah, it looks so dumb.
I liked the movie, wasn't a fan of the car, and it was red, and I was like, nah, it's got to be black, and it's got to have that red thing going across.
Yeah, based on the 1988 Pontiac Banshee 4 concept, which is based on the 4th gen Firebird. Oh, actually, hold on. Wait a minute. It actually wasn't based on the Firebird. Holy shit.
I was wrong about car knowledge.
That's a first. Let's see. It's saying here the Knight Industries 4000, or KIFT, was copy of the 1988 Pontiac Banshee 4 concept car, which was based on the 1991 Mitsubishi GTO or Dodge Stealth. Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I just didn't like it. It wasn't... Oh, it's just got one curve to it. There was nothing, like, intricate about that car.
There's nothing exciting about it.
Yes, exactly. It's just
like at least with kit, it's a Formula Firebird Trans Am. It looks awesome. It's iconic, and
yes,
and it was black, with a little red strobe light in the front. Like,
it was so bad. It's a Cylon before the Cylons,
and then you got this red turd. It's just a red turd.
Pretty much. Sorry, guys. This is the best we could come up with for a movie.
Yeah.
So, did somebody reach out to you about that car, or did you just print it because you wanted it?
Well, a long while ago, before I even started looking into 3D printing, I had a buddy of mine and his brother. The buddy died, and the brother and I were still in contact, and he had mentioned that somebody was making a 3D model of the Interceptor. So a few, now coming to about a week ago, I had somebody else ask about both the Interceptor and the DeLorean from Back to the Future. And I was like, let's look into it again. Like, I love the movie. I think between me and my brother watching it, we wore out the VHS tape because we watched it so much. And so I was looking into it. I was like, all right, before I couldn't find anything. And then, because that listing or that 3D design that somebody started, it's been deleted. It no longer exists. So trying to find even just the base of something to work on, especially for something specific. If I don't have a model to scan in using the scanner we got at work, or like something I can take pictures of, and use the software that I got on my laptop to make a model of. It's like, all right, I got to find and either buy something that somebody started or something that somebody completed, and I can just tweak it and make it fit what I need it to do for, what somebody's specifically requesting. Lo and behold, I find this dude I think it's from Australia. It was just kind of your bare bones, like little toy, almost Hot Wheels size or Micro Machine size, actually. Yeah, here we go. Hey kids, what's a Micro Machine? Y'all don't know.
Okay, no, don't blow my mind like that. They don't make Micro Machines anymore?
They didn't for a while, but they just now started trying to bring them back.
Well, where's the spokesman? You need that guy. Welcome to Micro Machines. Like, that guy was the best.
All those commercials.
The fastest talker. I love that guy.
Could never understand a word he said, but you got it. You knew exactly what he was talking about.
Yes. Okay, sorry. Way to date ourselves.
Yep.
Okay, so, and wait, did they make a Hot Wheels of the Wraith?
No.
Okay, are you sure?
The closest you could get that I've found for a Hot Wheels was the Jaguar XJ220, which has a similar body line. Like, at a quick glance, if you paint them both black and, if you paint them both matte black, they kind of look similar. If you're looking at it closely, you can tell it's not the same car, but it's close.
I mean, possible. I'm looking at something right now, and it just says the Wraith, and it looks like the Hot Wheels car. It's not. It seems like it's made Move Diecast Customs. I'm gonna have to Google that later.
So somebody made a custom diecast of it. Yeah. These files were like Micro Machine size, and they were on sale actually. So I was like, all right, I'm buying them, and I'm going to use those to start the project. So I bought those, brought it into my software, and just went to town tinkering on it and tweaking it and scaling it so that we would fit on a 10th scale drift car chassis. So that way I can actually turn it into an RC body. I mean, you saw the prototype when I brought it in to take some pictures of it, and it came out great. I love the way it came out.
Oh yeah, no, it's beautiful. And then when you got that black just right, it was. It's weird.
It's not identical, but it's pretty damn close.
Oh, absolutely. It's just one of those things. It's like how a font makes a thumbnail. The paint totally made that, because you did a certain black before. It sucked. I hated it. It showed every imperfection. Yeah, and then you did the hammered, and it was like it had that kind of like sparkle to it. It was perfect.
Yeah, it wasn't even hammered. It was
textured.
I think it was just metallic.
Oh no, couldn't.
Yeah, I think it was just metallic, like some special night black. Just the way it looked was. I thought it was perfect.
Oh hell yeah! If can people order one right now at your store?
Yeah, actually, the listing's been up for a little over a week now.
Nice. Okay, well, hopefully you get some sales on that, because that car is just it's amazing. I'm so excited. I saw it. I want to see it go. There's a bunch of things I want you to make for me now. I got to have just like a little display of the top 10 cars,
top 10 movie cars
that I think are the most iconic. Yeah, exactly. And not all of them, just maybe stuff from the 80s, just 80s movies or TV shows.
Yeah, that'd be a nice collection.
So, now that you've done the Wraith car, I absolutely love it. So psyched, so beautiful. What other cars would you print, or have you printed from like 80s movies, or just like iconic car movies? And there can be nothing from the Fast and the Furious. I just can't.
Well, that's also not 80s, so that's early.
No, I know. I was saying it doesn't have to be 80s, but I really kind of want to stick to the 80s because I really want to date myself.
I mean, 80s did have the best cheesy B-rated movies and the best music, so I mean.
Absolutely. Oh, I might even think 1978 too. Crap, I forgot about that. Oh, and then there's a 70s movie. Shit, there's actually a bunch of movies before 2000s that I'm thinking.
There's a lot of good ones before the 2000s anyway. I already got the 78 Firebird. Also from the race, the yellow Firebird. The yellow Firebird with the big ass supercharger blower going through the hood. The one that
oh god, yeah! If you could actually 3D print that guy with no eyeballs in the car, that'd be awesome.
I mean, that could be done. I've got the Firebird. I just need to print the blower coming through the hood, paint it right, and then, print the little guy in the driver's seat with his eyeballs melted.
Did we actually figure out what was with the eyeballs?
No.
See, that's what sucked about the 80s movie. Like, there were a few, like, plot holes that you just never figured out why.
I think from what, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've seen the movie because they don't have it anywhere besides YouTube, and you have to pay, I think it's like $5 to rent the damn movie on YouTube.
Oh, God.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, I think the sheriff, when they pulled the body out, when they were talking with the medical examiner, I think he said it was so hot the eyeballs just melted.
Wow.
But I don't know how logically that stands up.
And then he also had that, such a great, and Charlie Sheen, surprise ending. It was Charlie Sheen, guys.
Surprise.
That was when Charlie Sheen was, really. Spoiler alert, 40 years later.
Yeah, spoiler alert. I think it was 30 years later, the main bad guy from that movie ends up writing The Notebook. The guy who played Packard, yes, he ended up writing The Notebook.
That's not Nicholas Sparks.
The movie? He directed the movie.
No.
Yeah, he directed the movie.
Okay, now I remember Packard. Oh, Packard. Holy crap, what does he look like now? Oh, now you're really getting me all down the hole. The rate, Nick Cassavetes, Packard. Okay, sorry. I'll look that up later, too. I'm sorry. And then the girl from that movie, always had a crush on her. I think
what the hell was her name?
Kerry? Yeah, Kerry Johnson. Her name's Sherilyn Fenn.
Sherilyn Fenn.
Wow. She still looks great, unless this is an older photo. Wow, she still looks hot. Although I was actually having this argument with you at work about Martha Stewart on the Swimsuit Illustrated cover. I said, for 81, I'd do her.
Of course you would.
I think she looks great, so I don't know. Might be a lot of Adobe Photoshop, but yeah. Okay, sorry. That was all a side note. Cars, what do you got? Next one.
Next one I kind of want to do, I mean, not that it was just because it was suggested by the same guy for the Interceptor, but the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Completely iconic car. Loved it. 88 miles an hour. And the whole joke was it could never go 88 miles an hour. That's why, of course.
I think it could if you were going downhill and you had like 3 fat guys sitting in it.
And it's in neutral. You're not even doing the engine because, yeah, exactly. You just
running the engine would slow it down.
Yeah, amen to that. Just turn it off. Neutral, you're good. Yeah, Michael J. Fox actually came out with a documentary a little while ago, I guess. I think it was called like Steady or Calm or something like that. But what a shame. But that was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Probably one of the best trilogies out there.
Number 3, though. Couldn't get him a 3.
I mean, you really can't. No sequel is ever going to beat the original. 2 was great. I thought 2 was good. It's obviously not as good as the original, but 2 was good.
Yes.
3, you got to watch it because it rounds out the story. It's not the greatest, but
yeah.
The first one is awesome.
Shit, yeah. Car I'd do? Ghostbusters.
Oh, Ecto-1?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You have to. I mean, come on. But it would be such a pain in the ass with all that little intricate detail on top of the car.
Yeah, for that, I would get a resin printer and print all those details with a resin machine.
Really? And what's the difference in price on that one?
I mean, resin machines are kind of around the same price range from what I find. They're just so much better at getting details for figurines like D&D miniatures.
Oh, okay. You actually told me that.
Yeah, TTRPG, game figures, minis, just anything that needs high detail. A resin machine is going to be so much better.
Damn.
Whereas, FDM is better for bigger stuff.
Interesting. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. So I got Ecto-1.
Another iconic 80s movie car or car.
Ghostbusters. You gotta love it.
Ecto-1. That one's a good one.
Next time someone asks if you're a god, you say yes.
Is it true? Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Yeah. Oh crap! I forgot about that movie. Oh man, now I'm just googling '80s movies. License to Drive. Sorry, that'll be one of them.
I don't think that's one I've seen.
You got it. Okay, that's a great Corey Haim film. I was when Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, they were just like on top of the world.
Maybe the Peterbilt from Duel.
I don't Duel, huh? What was Duel? 1971?
Yeah, I think it was a 38 Peterbilt.
Oh wow. The Peterbilt 281 tanker truck.
Yep. That's one of the most iconic movie car chases, even though it's not like, it doesn't include the most cars. Like Gone in 60 Seconds, the original one, not the one with Nicolas Cage. The original one has one of the most expensive sets with all the cars that were destroyed and wrecked in the chase.
Oh God.
This one has one of the most iconic chases because it just focuses so closely on the battle between the Peterbilt and the car that the main character is driving. This is one of the most intense movie car chases, especially for something that was made it's 71.
Yeah, there's another guy, and I'm blanking on his name. It's my father's favorite actor, Steve McQueen. There was a movie, Bullet. My father always said that was the greatest car chase ever. Steve McQueen, that guy was an icon.
And he did 99% of his own stunts, I'm pretty sure, in that movie.
Guys like Tom Cruise over here. Oh, what about Christine?
I already have it.
Oh, you already did Christine?
Yeah, I've already got the Plymouth Fury.
Yeah, see,
those are the first ones. At a guy on TikTok, he's got a pretty decent channel. He's got a huge collection of RC stuff, and he's got a giant movie car collection.
Really?
RC movie cars.
That's what I want. I don't even think I'd need them RC. Just put them on a chassis, give me the wheels, and I just put them in a glass box, put them on a wall.
Yeah, he's got the Happy Toys truck from Maximum Overdrive. He's got two.
Shit, I was going to ask that.
He's got two Bandit 1, the 78 Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit. He's got Buford T. Justice's cruiser, the Pontiac Le Mans. He's got Christine. He got Christine from me. He has Kit. He got Kit from me because I produce and sell the car from Knight Rider. And he also has the 78 Monaco from the Blues Brothers that he also got from me. The Goblin face for the Happy Toys truck, he got from somebody else. He got the Pontiac Le Mans, or Pontiac Tempest Le Mans. It's one of them special models that they used. He got that from somebody else. He's got Faceman's Corvette. He's got the car from RoboCop's cruiser. He's got that one. He's even got RoboCop inside driving it. He's got the A-Team van. He's got the truck from Fall Guy.
Okay, well, now you're just ruining this entire game because you've listed off like every truck and car that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Well, that's what he's got in his collection already made, and he's still going for more.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got a ton of other trucks that aren't movie cars, but his collection is massive. And he reached out and like I said, he got the Monaco from Blues Brothers. He got Kit and Christine all from me.
That's awesome. See, I definitely have to have a Kit, and I definitely have to have a Christine. So we're going to be placing some orders, bud. But if you grew up in the 80s, one of the most iconic cars / trucks was that Goblin face Happy Toys truck, or Happy Go Lucky, or whatever it was called.
It was Happy Toys from Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive. Emilio Estevez. Just a wonderful Stephen King movie. Before. No, actually, I'd have to say, was it in the 80s or the 90s? I can Google that, sir.
I think it was 80s.
The original 1990.
Tim Curry. Oh, it was 90. Oh, we've been right there on the
that
edge.
Counts. They filmed it in the 80s.
Yeah, they filmed it in the 80s. So I guess that counts.
Rock on. No, but Maximum Overdrive. Holy hell! If there was something that scared you more than anything, it was that truck. Those freaking eyes. They lit up, right?
Yeah, they glue red.
Oh, it was red. Okay. Oh yeah, it was the green Goblin face, red eyes. Oh God. You're always so paranoid anytime like an asteroid was going by Earth or something. It's like, oh, don't let everything come to life. Can't do it. All right, so it's not, I mean, I guess they probably already have them, but something I would want you to get or print would be the cube from the movie Hellraiser, but I'm sure that they're already out there.
Oh yeah, I actually saw one on one of the Facebook groups I'm in. Somebody just finished putting together the cube from Hellraiser.
That's
And
insane.
it came out amazing. Like, they did such a good job on it. It looks awesome.
See, I just don't have the time or the steady hand to paint something like that. That's my only problem.
Painting is, I mean, I can paint, but it's not, it's not great.
Well, I mean, I can paint big machines, but I can't paint anything with that just level of detail, that small. My hands, if I can't TIG that well, then I'm definitely not going to be able to paint that well.
Oh, man. Let's see. Another one.
Cannonball Run. I don't know what the hell this car is. The Ferrari 308 GTS.
That's a good one.
Or I was thinking Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That Ferrari. I mean, that's a beautiful.
Man.
But I don't think people would recognize it without it being in that sort of glass garage.
Yeah, I mean, without the attached Ferris Bueller references, I don't think anybody would really get it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still a beautiful car, and I'd totally take one of them.
That's
too.
like the black Lamborghini Countach in Cannonball Run, driven by the two chicks.
Yep.
Everyone would just think, oh, it's just a black Lamborghini Countach.
Yep.
Cannonball Run.
Even the newest movie was actually pretty good. One with Mr. Bean.
They made another one?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say it was like 2011, 2012.
Huh.
What the hell was that car that talked? Furby, was it
Herbie?
Disney? Herbie. That's it. I was trying to write
it. Looks like a needle?
Yes, that car.
Yes, Herbie. Oh, God.
That'd be a good one.
Everybody in their damn obsession with bugs.
Oh, I know. I don't get it. I'm not a fan. And I like Volkswagen.
I mean, they can look really good, but...
All right, so I guess I don't really have many 80s car movies, but what was your, besides The Wraith, or anything else we've spoken about, what's your, what do you like your top few 80s movies that must watch? Lost Boys.
Must watch. Yeah, yes, Lost Boys. That's a great movie.
I want to see, 87, yes. Kiefer Sutherland is youngest.
Amazing soundtrack. Not a lot of cars, but amazing soundtrack. And just...
Sorry, I was also thinking Corey Feldman and then the dude on the saxophone shirtless. It's like... out of everything in the movie, like, that dude playing the saxophone just made no sense. But it's like, oh, okay. I know what this movie needs.
No, but it's iconic. You know exactly what that's from.
Or just see a picture.
It. Like, especially when that song comes on in the shop. It'll just come on randomly. It's like, oh.
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
Yeah, I'd have to say, if you haven't seen it, Lost Boys, that's definitely top 10.
That's
in
definitely
top
a good
10.
one to see. Oh, it have to be. It would have to be.
Shit, I'm kind of blanking out. We kind of hit a lot of movies. Oh, there's a movie I My Blue Heaven, but I think that was actually in the No, that's got to be 80s. 1990, son of a bitch.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
My Blue Heaven. Steve Martin and Rick Moranis. It's fantastic. Sisters on Rick Moranis was huge. He plays an FBI agent, and Steve Martin plays a mob associate who is in the witness protection program, and Rick Moranis is his handler. And it's
that has to be hilarious. Those two together in a movie, that would have to be hysterical.
One of my favorite parts is he goes up to this woman and she's in the frozen food section. He's like, you shouldn't be in the frozen food section. She's like, why is that? He's like, because you could melt all this stuff. I'm like, wow, it's such a great line. And then the other one was like he's walking down the grocery store. The guy's like, have a nice day. He turns around, you.
That sounds like I would say.
Oh, God, I love it.
Now, for a second, I thought you were, my thought process immediately when you said, oh, lady in a grocery store, a guy walks up to her. So I was immediately thinking, Rick Moranis, who the hell are you? I'm the bearded lady. Who are you? One of the freaks?
Classic line we do at the shop. What other things? Tremors.
Yes, Tremors.
1990. Son of a bitch. It seems like 1990 was just the perfect year.
Yeah, but it was recorded in the 80s.
Exactly. That's the only thing that counts. I'm hitting
Kevin
my mic.
Bacon, Tremors.
No, my favorite guy was Michael Gross.
Michael
Bert
Gross.
Grummer.
Michael Gross is hilarious.
He is the
Bert
best.
is the man.
Wow, box office of $16 million. That's when movies cost $3.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't.
Back in my day. Oh, speaking of shit, Beverly Hills Cop. I had watched it a couple of days ago, and you know you're old when you watch that movie. And Eddie Murphy goes to Disneyland or Disney World, and he has to go and get a ticket. And he's like, $35? And he was all upset that it costs $35 to get into Disneyland. You thought, holy shit, that's a lot of money. And then today, I don't even know what it is, like $300 per person. Wow.
Yeah, more than that. just to get in for a day. I think it's like $450.
Apparently they had like annual passes or something that you could buy, because there was a guy who before COVID had the world record for consecutive days going to Disney World. Do you know what that number
For
is?
what purpose?
I have no, you're just...
For what purpose?
You're sick in the head. After day 3, I'd be like, okay, I'm done. But he's done it, I think, 2,900 times. Why? Why? I think at that rate, it costs you like $3.50. So for $3.50,
just the food alone has got bankrupt.
Yeah, you always bring in a sandwich. You don't buy their food, but friggin' Coke costs $15.
I'll take a bottle of Sprite. That'll be $25.55. Like, what the hell?
But it comes in a memorable Mickey mug. All right, Flight of the Navigator. Sorry, that's my 86.
Flight of the Navigator.
Wow, Joey Kramer. It was Sarah Jessica Parker. That's right. She was in it. And this has to be one of her first roles. She was extremely young. But the best part was it was a kid who went missing, or he just kind of like fell down a side of a hill. And then he wakes up, and I want to say it's like 10 years later, and his parents have moved and everything. And he comes back and he hasn't aged. And he was taken by a UFO, and I don't know why they took him. Maybe they just want to study him for a little bit, and then they brought him back. But, time dilation, the speed of light, and all that bullshit, they brought him back to the wrong year. But he kind of like escapes and then finds the ship and then get back on the ship and then tries to get the ship to take him back to his time. And the ship is voiced by Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
It's fantastic. Oh, yeah, he does all the classic, I know you have, I want to buy. And it's just... If you can't get any more iconic than Paul Rubens' Pee Wee Herman. That's quintessential.
Iconic, yes. Aggravating, also yes.
Oh, 100%. Very annoying, but I mean, you loved his the little shows he did, and then even Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. That one of my favorites. There's no basement in the Alamo, so that deserved a laugh. Prick.
Oh. I wasn't a huge fan of Pee Wee.
Wow, that's depressing.
Yeah,
but you grew up in the 90s, so you just didn't have as good a taste as somebody like me with refined palate.
Yeah, refined palate. Okay. I had some of the best reruns of all the best shit and introduction to the best movies ever. So,
how about Lone Star? You got to do the Winnebago from Spaceballs.
Eagle 5.
That's right.
Winnebago with wings. Yes. Oh my God. That would be awesome.
Oh God. How about the Tron light cycle? That'd be pretty easy, I would assume. From Tron.
The original or the remake?
I forgot about the original. I mean, the remake would probably be a lot more involved. This is just kind of like 8-bit.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anybody do that, so that might be something to look into.
Wow. Chips Highway Patrol motorcycles, not really.
There are a couple of RC bikes, but they're really old, and there's not really any company that makes any new ones, so if you find an older one, and most of those guys want to keep them the way they are because you can't really find parts for them anymore.
Right. Oh, if you were to do a motorcycle, there was a movie, Street Hawk, in the 80s. I forgot. God, it's been so long since I watched that, but That would be a cool one because they had this really crazy nose to it. I kind of love that. Nobody, if you're not a car guy, this episode's totally not going to be for you.
All right, guys.
Or at least an 80s movie guy. Sorry, I'm looking at a whole bunch of different movies that I completely forgot about. Oh, Bigfoot.
The monster truck?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody and their sister has a Bigfoot already. I mean, Traxxas makes the new one and the old one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. They're still making them. USA 1, Kyosho just brought that back. So, I mean, a lot of the older monster truck circuit trucks are...
Sorry, I got it. Okay. The one you got to do, and it was after it was burnt, was the Dodge from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Which Dodge?
You remember John Candy and
yes.
Steve Martin. So they were at the motel, they were driving, and all of a sudden the cigarette, John Candy's smoking the cigarette, and he throws it out the window, but it comes back in the window.
Oh, and it lands on the back seat, doesn't it?
Yes, and then they're outside the car, and then the car just burns. And while he's driving down the road, the cop pulls him over. He's like, "Yeah, you can't. You know how fast you were going?" He's like, "Nope, speedometer's pretty melted, but we got radio. Don't know how that's working, but."
I'll have to look into that to see which exact one it was.
Oh, yeah, like the top and the C-pillars are gone, and the trunk is all messed up, and all he's got is, like, little trunks and stuff and luggage. Yeah, you have to do this one. It's hilarious. But then the other car for real would be the Magnum PI Ferrari.
Oh, yeah, the Ferrari 308?
Yep.
That's also another one that the guy on TikTok has. He's got that one as well.
Oh, God. How about Cousin Eddie's RV from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
Oh, God.
That's a paint job that you really gotta just get right, but that's, come on. That's one of those great ones.
I don't know if I could do that paint justice.
I mean, not at all.
I'd have to find somebody to custom paint that to make it look identical, because I couldn't do that justice.
Or if you could get like a vinyl wrap for it or something. I don't know if they do that. That might be something to look into.
I mean, you can get a vinyl wrap for just about anything these days, but...
Wagon Queen from National Lampoon's Vacation. That
God.
green-brown RV with the wooden panels. Yes, have to be that.
Oh, man.
The Batmobile. 89.
Which one?
89. Oh. Come on, bud.
Okay.
The real one.
Ooh, that would be good. That would be cool.
Not the 50.
That would be cool. Although the original one, the one that was based off of the, I think it was a Cadillac Eldorado from the 50s, that one would be pretty cool. That one would be awesome, too.
Yeah. I mean...
The one from the 80s was built on, I believe it was built on a Corvette, but it had the jet engine in the front.
Yep.
Yes. Oh, that would be awesome.
The thing with that one, it's all black, so it would just be easy to paint that. Whereas if you were to get the other one... Yep, exactly. And it was just such a beautiful car. Holy hell. I remember Michael Keaton will always be my Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Adam West.
Adam West was great, but you can't really beat Michael Keaton.
No. Man, I think we kind of went through all the cars of the 80s. Shit. You got to start looking into these.
You had the A-Team. I mean...
Absolutely.
The A-Team, that was just it was just a GMC Vandura, or a G-Series van, but, I mean, it had the iconic paint jobs.
Exactly. Painted any other way, it's just a regular van. But you painted that black and red with the red stripe, yeah, it's The
A-Team.
If you know. And if you don't, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, a lot of people probably don't know, especially the younger people.
Yeah, I'm going to make Mitch listen to this episode, and he's just going to be like, I have no idea what they're talking about. I'm like, that's right. You got to watch all these movies now. I might just make them stay here and sit them down for like 10 hours of 80s movies.
80s movie marathon? Oh, man.
Absolutely.
I better be invited to that. I'll bring the popcorn.
Problem. Absolutely. I'll have the milk duds and whatever. Thanks for coming on, bud. I know it was short notice, and I know we didn't really talk about side hustles or anything, but we talked about one of my other favorite subjects, 80s movies and 80s movies cars.
Hey, I'm a sucker for 80s movies. and 80s
Absolutely.
covers.
That's why I figured you were perfect for this.
Yeah, no.
So,
Short notice or not, it was great.
yeah, thank God. Thank God that you were able to help. So where can people reach out if they want to find you or, buy some of your cool shit?
Yeah, so basically everywhere. On Facebook at The Hobby by Brian, YouTube at The Hobby by Brian, the Etsy shop, it's Etsy shop / The Hobby by Brian. Everything, it's all the same logo. So if you find one page, you can find the others just by looking at the logo.
Rock on.
I just have the logo as the little identifying picture for all of it. So yeah, thanks for having me come on.
Rock on. Thanks for being here. And you definitely saved me because there's no way I could have done an episode by myself.
Always glad to help.
Rock on. Well, I know you got to pick up your girlfriend pretty soon. And other than that, I will see you Monday, my good sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, you have a good night. And that's it for this week's episode of Coffee Milk. I'm Mark Laporte.
And I'm Brian Froelich.
Have a good week.